and our opponent scoops. And our opponent scoops. Hello! Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. And today we are looking at an updated zoo deck. So back in Avatar, the last Airbender set, we played a Simic Zookeeper deck based around Diligent Zookeeper, a 4-mana 4/4. Says each non-human creature we control gets +1/+1 for each of its creature types to a maximum of 10. So we played cards which had as many creature types as possible, which weren't human. And Simic, we played, I think it was the Lion Turtle, a 3-mana 3/6 that taps for 1 mana of any colour, but it can't attack a block unless you have 3 or more lessons in the graveyard. So I've given this an update. We've gone mono green. And while there's not a huge amount from Lorwyn in here, this is a much better deck than that previous one, because that previous one did have a lot of lessons in it to turn on the Lion Turtle. This one is a lot more simple. So basically, our win condition is Ouroboroid, as a lot of the time. It is a plant worm, so it gets +2/+2 from Diligent Zookeeper. So obviously, if we have them both on the same on the battlefield, when the Ouroboroid comes down, it'll be a 3/5, and it will immediately buff our board by a huge amount. The new Lorwyn cards we have are Bristlebane Battler, a 2-mana 6/6, but we've seen on the channel before, he does enter with 5 -1/-1 counters on it, and there's Trample and War 2, but it is a Kifkin Soldier, so it does get +2/+2 from the Zookeeper, and obviously Ouroboroid will be able to shred those -1/-1 counters on it very, very quickly. And it loses -1/-1 counters when another creature we control enters. The other new card is Formidable Speaker, a 3-mana 2/4 Elf Druid. So again, it gets a pretty good buff from the Zookeeper. When it enters, we may discard a card. If we do, search the library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into a hand, then shuffle. So we can get our Ouroboroid or our Zookeeper. We also pay 1 generic, tap it to untap another target permanent, which is a great way to ramp, especially since we have the standard mono green stuff or green stuff of Llanowar Elves, Gene Pollinator, Badgermole Cub. So obviously untapping our mana dorks or our creature lands with the Zookeeper while we have a Badgermole Cub or 2 or 3 on the battlefield will ramp our mana. Then round in the deck we also have Keen-Eyed Curator, just a 2-mana 3/3, so very powerful, and it can hit the graveyard. 1 copy of Reclamation Sage to destroy artifacts and enchantments. 4 copies of Sentinel of the Nameless Cities. It does have 3 creature types, so it will get +3/+3 from the Zookeeper. And obviously when it enters, we can create a map token. And then we have 2 copies of Nature's Riven and 2 copies of Genesis Wave. You could just go 4 of one or the other. But Nature's Riven, X and 2. Search the library for a creature card with mana of 8 X or less, put on the battlefield and shuffle. So often going to be looking for our Ouroboroid or Diligent Zookeeper. But in a pinch, if we don't have much else, we can find a Badgermole Cub. And we can also harmonise it from the graveyard, pay 4 green and X, and harmonise means we can tap a creature and the casting cost is reduced by X, where X is that creature's power. But then we also have 2 copies of Genesis Wave, which is kind of similar, 3 and an X, but we reveal the top cards, X cards of a library. You may put any number of permanent cards of mana of 8 X or less from among onto the battlefield, and then any we don't put in the graveyard, on the battlefield, put in the graveyard. As long as this is 4, we will be able to put everything in our deck onto the battlefield, everything we find, and obviously getting up to 7 mana in this deck's not particularly tough. Obviously, if we can, if we have 7 mana, we can either Nature's Riven for 4 or 5, but it doesn't make a difference, and find 1 thing, or hopefully Genesis Wave for 4 and find a few things, including other lands as well. So that's the deck. It's really, really quick, and you'll be surprised how often opponents scoop when you go turn 1 Llanowar Elves or Gene Pollinator, turn 2 Badgermole Cub, turn 2 Badgermole Cub or Keen-Eyed Curator, and then turn 3 you might be able to play both Ouroboroid and a Zookeeper, or Ouroboroid and maybe Nature's Riven or something else. So really, really powerful deck. Hope you will enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll give a shout out to my patrons, Arcadis, Mihal, Thomas and Adrian. Thank you very much for support, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. We go first. We need more lands, but if we find them, this is good hand. Land, 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 land. You're not land. Land, 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 land. We can get down Sentinel. And then explore. You're also not a land. Ooh. I think they've got a counter spell. Do have a counter spell. and a Llanowar Elves. Hitting for 2. If they have Iroh's Demonstration, I'm not going to be happy. There's a land. Right. 2, 4, 6, 7. Let's hope if they have a counterspell, it's Ill Quencher. Well, this crossing's out of the range of Iroh's Demonstration. We're going to get down the Curator, even though I imagine it gets countered, because we want to exile Lessons from their graveyard. Do we just have lethal? 2, 4, 6, 9, 11. We would have lethal, but I think they have interaction. No, they don't. They're dead. Have I played a land this turn? They could find like a boomerang basics. But no. We don't even need to play out our second Ouroboroid. Even keeping a 1-lander. We go first. Good hand. Having turn to multiple Badgermole Cubs is very, very good. Up against Simic. They have their own Badgermole Cub. Guess what? We have 2. We have 4 mana. We have two, 4, 6. Sorry, 3, 6, 9, 10. You get a Diligent Zookeeper. Now that's how you Badgermole Cub. And what else do you have? You have 5 mana. The other way to buff it. I don't think that does it. Didn't you only have 1 mana left? Pretty sure that just dies. Yeah. Oh, it comes in as a land. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know that. That's an interesting interaction. Well, we can block you. We're down to 9. Our opponent scoops. We would have Nature's Rhythm for another Ouroboroid anyway, but obviously we just had Leaf on the backswing. Opponent goes first. We have ramp. No Badgermole Cub, but 2 Zookeepers will buff out a ball. Our opponent also has ramp. Seeing as that gets a shoe buff from the Zookeeper, we're going to play that out. Sentinel of the Nameless City. Now ramping again. I want to ramp in 2. Oh, we're hitting for 6. Next turn, we can do that again. Do we... I think this would let us hit in for lethal if it resolves. That is a big if though. We have something. There you go. One goes first, but we've got multiple Badgermole Cubs. We can find a Nature's Rhythm or a Genesis Wave. Life gain. Look, Mar, no lands. Yeah, life gain. Well, we will get down Sentinel. We'll get down an Ouroboroid. We'll get down a Curator. We'll get down a Gene Pollinator. We will go massively wide and smash.